Right, so we've had an update on the situation. So thankfully, Alduar has sent this apology letter to Ian O'Brien, though this is only after he made his complaint to character options. So, yeah, would he have done this otherwise? I don't know, but here we go. So it says, Dear Ian, I apologise undeservedly for assigning any blame for you for leaking the information leading regarding the future purpose sex. I can only react to the information given to me, which came from more than one source, which named you as the person, whether originator or not, that made the information public. Okay. The thing is, though, even if he was, and I don't know for certain if he was the originator or not, but even if he was, him leaking information about a set that was due out in October, him leaking that information, it would be far too late down the production of this to actually do anything about it. So, yeah, it's kind of a backhanded apology in that. Whether true or not, and you claim not anything I post on this forum, the fact of my personal comments, nothing to do with character. You are quite correct in doing that, so was indeed the wrong thing to do in the light of the fact that you cannot respond in kind. So please feel free to post this full unreserved apology as you wish. Yeah. The thing is, though, it's like, it's an apology, but God, there's a lot, it just feels like I apologize kind of thing, because like, whether you were or not the person, there's no excuse for it. It's just like, I don't know. I honestly don't know with this one, because the thing is, this is not a unique case. This is not a unique case of basically the way Alduar responds to people, where he was in this forum here. This is not unique to this. This is the thing is, though, this is the only time where someone has actually contacted Count Options about this, because, correct me if I'm wrong, I do believe Ian used to get the set sent to him. I don't know if he still does or not. But even so, the way Alduar reacts here, this is just... The thing is, though, this is just doesn't seem very professional of him, to be honest. He seems like he would fit in great with someone like at D-Brand, acting all edgy and that like this. I don't know. And for people who say, oh, it's our fault for complaining about things, like, no. The reason we complain is because if something is wrong with a figure or a set, then, we point it out, because otherwise things will never improve. If you just always accept things as they are, then there's no reason for things to get improved. For example, I'll give an example for me that happened recently. The season 20 box set, I had a scratch disc. And also the packaging was damaged. If I had just accepted it, then one, I'd have a disc I'd be unable to watch, and two, I'd have a damaged box along with it. So, yeah, just accepting things like that, no. And for people to say, oh, you shouldn't blame Alduar. Alduar put himself in the spotlight, because before Alduar started doing the face-to-face camera videos and that, we would just blame character, a faceless company, basically. But now, since Alduar, puts himself out as the individual and that behind everything, then now it's got a face behind it, so whether he likes it or not, and plus, he is in charge of it. I'd love to know the reason why. The thing is, there's probably a perfectly reasonable explanation on why the Inferno set couldn't happen. Maybe it went over budget. Maybe there was production issues. Anything like that. But as Ian pointed in his own short, him, reporting on leaked information, and this wasn't like showing pictures and that. This wasn't like showing pictures and that. This was just leaked, rumored information. So yeah, I don't know why he went so hard on that on this, and initially blaming that on this. So yeah, I don't know, because again, leaks will not stop this. It will not stop this. For example, a production like, because again, there's the argument made on, maybe it's to do with likeness rights and stuff like that, which you could argue with some things, but for one, the John Pertwee figure, they've got the rights to John Pertwee, the rights to do John Pertwee. It's only with, now they haven't done a Liz Shaw figure, so maybe that was the issue there, but I doubt it. And the Primoid figure, well, that's just under the BBC license, so yeah, I doubt that would be an issue. Plus, Eagle Moss was able to do it without any issues and that anyway, so yeah, I don't know with this, but yeah, I don't know. Again, it just makes me think I would love to interview Aldebar and speak to him, because I want to ask him the questions that whenever he does get interviewed that people never ask him, like, how come the B&M sets have turned out like this? How come there are these constant, what you claim to be factory errors, year after year after year? Why are things the way they are? So yeah, at least he did get an apology, but would he have gotten one if he hadn't have made all this public and also had reported it to character options? Dunno. But I will say, in future, to anyone who's on Gallifrey Base or anywhere who's speaking to Aldebar, if he acts like this, I'd say report it. Report it, because otherwise he'll just continue acting like this. So yeah, I think the problem is, I'm hoping this is going to be a wake-up call for Aldebar to get him back in line, because I think the problem is that Ego has taken over. I think Ego took over Aldebar, and I think finally this year, most people are, have had enough of all this, and hopefully, hopefully we're gonna get back onto the right track, because again, I want this to improve. I don't want Aldebar to be fired or anything like that, because he can do good work. He can, but the problem is that I think he should also consult people on that on things as well. If he was more open about things, like, okay, I'm considering working on this, because I don't understand why it has to be the top secret, everything. Like, Aldebar, you're bringing out figures. You're bringing out Doctor Who figures, right? Okay? You're not it's not like you're working on a new series of Doctor Who where, it could affect ratings. In fact, probably the opposite would happen. Say, I'm working on this figure. It would generate, excitement and boom, and keep, the flame going for longer. And you could also help by getting advice on that from people. You claim to do research for things. You do claim to do research. But the thing is, I've got a feeling that you just skim them. Like, for example, the first Doctor figure from the Sensorites had the wrong colour trousers because Aldebar got it from a colourised fan picture that got the colour of the trousers wrong. And it wouldn't take very long, literally, it wouldn't take very long to discover that colour was wrong. You claim to read up on Dalek 6388, even though you've gotten the colour of the Daleks and that wrong and that before. You're much better with it now, I will say that. You're much better with it now, but there was a lot of skimming that going on. I don't know. I'm not the arbiter of things that here, so. But I just want some answers for this. I genuinely do want answers, but I genuinely do want things to, improve on that. So yeah, but that's my piece on that.